Assalamu alaikum, tingayas, jordias, bacharias, sharaglas. Hi, I'm Miriam and I'm the Afghan that cooks. And today we're gonna make masteh, yogurt, homemade yogurt. So easy, it's delicious. If you have a pan and some yogurt at home, just a tiny little bit, you can make delicious homemade yogurt. Let's go make it. For this recipe, you don't need a lot of equipment. Most Afghans can make yogurt. They don't need anything at all. They just need a pan, some heat, the yogurt they made before, and milk. We're gonna use a few other things just to make sure, since we're still kind of beginners, you know, we don't have that much experience. We want a couple of other things that we should have in our kitchen anyway. A thermometer of some sort. This is a candy thermometer. You can put it on the side and it sits in there, or another digital thermometer. I have like 7 different thermometers. It's good to have one in your house anyway. So this is really helpful to have. A pot of some sort. I like this one. And then some towels, because we do this the old-fashioned way. What we do is we cook the milk, add the starter culture, and then we wrap it up and it's nice and warm. I have my oven preheating right here to 170. I'm gonna turn it off. We're gonna let this sit in there overnight. It's gonna get all nice and comfortable and relaxed. The other ingredients you need are, I've got half a gallon of milk, which is 2 quarts of milk. You can use any kind of milk you want. You can use 2% whole milk, skim milk. We have a little bit of an issue here in the United States in that a lot of our milk, especially our organic milk, is ultra high pasteurized, which makes it a little more difficult to work with. It's a little more finicky. So if you can avoid this milk, anything that you see here, it says it's ultra pasteurized, try to avoid this. It will work. We're gonna add a little more live culture to it and let it sit for a little bit longer and hope that it firms up. But this is not ideal. It will work. It's just not the best thing, especially if you're a beginner, to use ultra high pasteurized milk. Try to find regular pasteurized milk. If you're lucky to find raw milk, if you're into that, that's great too. The other thing you need is a yogurt with live cultures. If you look here at this one, it actually says in the ingredients, I don't know if you can read it, it says live and active cultures. So you want that on here, okay? You want it to say live and active cultures. Super important because it's the live cultures that make it yogurt, okay? This is super simple. Ready? Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna turn this on. Now we can get into a lot of super nerdy stuff about the temperature of the milk, why you have to scald the milk, how long to hold it at that temperature. Okay? We're not gonna talk about that stuff. We're just gonna make yogurt, okay? We're not gonna talk about why, how, what. If we wanna talk about that, we can. There's a lot of really great articles out there about what makes yogurt yogurt, why you have to scald the milk. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna scald the milk. We're actually going to bring it up to a temperature, not that it burns, but that it boils, okay? And this, we're gonna keep it, we want it to go to between 180 and 190 degrees Fahrenheit. Got that? 180 to 190 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, what temperature does milk boil at? Alexa, what's the boiling temperature of milk?
The boiling point of milk is close to the boiling point of water, which is 100 degrees Celsius or 212 degrees Fahrenheit.
So what we're gonna look for here is we want this milk to scald, but not boil. Scald is just below the boiling point. The boiling point of milk is very similar to the boiling point of water, about 212 degrees Fahrenheit, not Celsius. You people out there who are talking to me about, oh, 212 degrees, water will evaporate. Not in my country, it won't. 180 to 190 degrees. Now, don't go in another room. Don't go talking to your friends. Don't text, don't tweet, don't Instagram, don't TikTok, don't do anything. You have to stand here. But it requires some attention on your part. It's not hard, but almost every kind of food, everything, no matter how simple it is, requires your attention. You don't want this milk to stick to the bottom. You don't want it to burn. Otherwise, your yogurt will taste burnt. We're at 140 degrees. It's getting there. Okay, we're getting up to 180 degrees. I'm gonna turn this down. And we wanna hold it here, my friends. We wanna hold it at about 180 degrees for at least 10 minutes, okay? We wanna hold it at 180 degrees for at least 10 minutes up to 30 minutes. So why? Number one, of course, you're killing off a lot of the bacteria, the microbes, the things that are in the milk, because you don't want anything competing with the microbes and the bacteria, the live cultures that are in your starter culture, your yogurt, okay? This is your starter, just like when you have a sourdough starter, this is the same thing, okay? No competition in here. Everything is dead other than this. This is gonna go in, it's gonna be live. The other thing is that you're evaporating some of the water, you're making it a little bit thicker, a little bit richer, okay? So the longer you let it boil, the better it is. I'm going to let it boil, not boil, I'm sorry, I'm gonna let it sit at 180 degrees for about 20 minutes because again, my milk is ultra high pasteurized. So in order to make sure it has the best outcome, I'm gonna let it sit for longer than normal. And we're gonna come back in about 15 or 20 minutes or so, and I'm gonna show you the next step. So it's been exactly 20 minutes. It was between 180 and 190 degrees. And again, you have to stir it. If it gets too hot, you have to turn it down. If it gets too cold, you have to turn it up. So you have to pay a little attention to it. But I promise it's just 20, 30 minutes of paying attention. And then you have fresh homemade yogurt. Now what you have to do though is more waiting. You have to now wait till the temperature comes down. Because right now, if you add the yogurt to this very, very hot scalded milk, the culture, the yeast in it, the active bacteria in it will die. You will have boiled it to death. It will, but you don't want that. You want it to be like, you know, it's a nice 75, 80 degree day and there's a little bit of shade around you, but the sun is down and there's a nice breeze and you feel like you can do so many things and you go outside and you're not, oh, so hot, and you're not, so cold, so cold. I made a joke a while ago, but it's true. Yogurt is my culture. Get it? Get it? Masteh is life to Afghans, okay? Masteh is life. We eat it on our salad. We eat it on top of our food. We eat it as a dip. We add it to certain things like lagatak banjarn. We drink it in the summertime as shlombeh, okay? We dry it as a dried curd, as krat. There are so many things we do with this. Number one, the yogurt sauce that I have on my the description box below. You'll see there's a link to the yogurt sauce. So once this is made, make up a batch of the yogurt sauce with it, keep it in your fridge. You will be so happy. In my family growing up, we always had masteh in the fridge. All the time. My mom made it religiously. We never did not have masteh. It just was. And it was in a big plastic container. But my memory is of my mom and my grandmother's masteh, rich, very sour. And the funny thing is I never saw either of them make it. It's the one thing that I can tell you that we had in my house all the time and that I never learned from them. I actually learned from watching videos. I read a lot about it to learn how to make masteh. But my parents, my mom, never taught me. So you're waiting for this to come down to about 110 degrees, and this is going to take a few minutes, okay? About 15 minutes to come down in temperature now too, so I'll see you in about 15 minutes. This is just at about 110 degrees. Now remember I told you this is ultra high pasteurized milk. It's a little bit more finicky than other milks. So normally you only need 1 or 2 tablespoons of your starter, okay? I heated this up a little bit longer. You can do it anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes, 30 minutes max, but you have to watch it the whole time. 2 tablespoons, if you don't use ultra high pasteurized milk, 2 tablespoons. I'm gonna use 1/4 cup, which is 4 tablespoons, okay? See our yogurt here? We're not gonna add it directly into there. We're gonna add it to this first. We're gonna add it to a bowl. I'm going to take a little bit of this milk and add it to the yogurt to thin this yogurt out. So when I stir it in, it will stir more easily. I turned the oven off, so I had it at 170 degrees, whatever the lowest temperature is that you can put it on. I then turned it off just so that it's a little bit warm. Now we're gonna add this to this. Now that that's all stirred in, right? It's whisked in, nice and smooth, nice and smooth. We're gonna put the top on it. Now for our really specific, very unique accessories, we're gonna wrap it. He's nice and swaddled. He's all warm. We're gonna put him in this oven. Now we're gonna put him right in the oven. The oven is off. We're gonna close it up, and then we'll be back to check on him tomorrow morning. So this has been setting room temperature since last night at around 9 o'clock. This morning, everyone was in a little bit of a rush. We didn't get to stop and check. I actually did take a sneak peek of it this morning though, and it did yogurt. So it did do what it was supposed to do. And now we're gonna actually take the whole thing off. We're gonna wake him up and take a look. See, that has set so nicely. Look at that. Look at how nicely that has set. I have some smaller jars. I'm gonna make individual yogurt cups. You can do this on your own. It saves money, it's healthy. You can control your own flavors. Also really helpful during Ramadan to be able to just grab one and eat it. So we're gonna start with this. Let's take a look at my yogurt here. Look at that. Look at how creamy that is. Do you see that? Now you can let this sit for another day or two. As you let it sit at room temperature or in the fridge, it will just become more and more sour and even richer tasting as time goes on. Now we're gonna add a couple of berries. I have a great recipe for homemade granola. Let me know if that's something that you would like to see too, but I'm just gonna spoon a little granola on top of that for texture. So there's our homemade yogurt. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, the bell notification so that you can be notified every time we have a new video. We have at least one new video every week. If you go, you can sign up for Afghan Cooks Club. We've got some really neat features, including videos that you cannot find here on YouTube. Join the club in order to get some exclusive footage, some exclusive recipes. Until next time.